What's going on, y'all? So listen. Hey, y'all. I'm back on time. Girl, let me stop playing with y'all. Girl, I said, let me just go ahead and watch it, okay? We are back for another episode review of Power Book 4, Season 3, Episode 4. Girl, time to meet the king, okay? Let's just go up into this video and let me tell you some. Shanti, oh, I'm telling you, girl, Shanti gonna probably be the one to take Jannard out, okay? Or it's gonna be one of those situations where they gonna have a standoff, or Jannard is gonna come to his senses and be like, you know what, baby girl, I can't do this plan that you're trying to do because I need my bro, and I'm gonna have to take you out. Okay, they gonna wind up taking each other out. I feel like one gonna take each other, one or the other. All right, that's just how I feel it's gonna happen. But we get up into the episode, and I forgot in last episode the one thing that I was trying to think of. Detective Singh, or no, he's an attorney. Okay, that's working, the Asian guy that's working with Stacy on her team. Girl, he working with Ortega. Okay, he working with Ortega, and not only is he working with Ortega, mind you, he the one that fed to the press and all that stuff about Stacy's divorce. Okay, so he's been feeding Ortega all of this stuff through the little lawyer Kenny, right? Okay, cool. And so not only is he working with Ortega, but his wife is too. Girl, they so deep into the shit. I said, no, why we working with the cartels like this, girl? Okay. Man, not Ortega, but Singh got a whole agenda. Okay. He basically want to take Stacy down, make her look stupid, make her lose this case against Ortega and all of this stuff so that he can get put up there as the attorney general for Chicago, and then he be the one to take Tommy Egan down. Because it's a case or whatever that's going on, and something that he had to go to the court and get some stuff or whatever for. Bitch, it came back and it said that absolutely no, they not gonna suppress some evidence or some stuff, whatever that they need in the Ortega case, and they kind of work against him, against Stacy. Actually, it's gonna hurt the case. So they're on the same team. He's a double agent, okay? He's playing both of them. Well, actually, he's playing Stacy, okay? Because he's feeding information to Ortega. He's doing everything in his power to mess up her cases and everything to get her knocked out the book, all right? So that he can get put up there, And I'm just like, seeing how many movies have we seen that went like this, okay? How many situations do we know of in history that went like this and it didn't go the way that you thought? Okay, it never goes the way that it's planned. You might think you be getting it, and then all of a sudden it's gonna blow up in your face. All right. Oh, little Sing, that is so sad. That's so sad. You better listen to your wife when she said, you can't be playing these cartels like that. I said, you got your wife in it too? What is going on? I mean, I guess. Hey, he said, listen, we ain't finna hide. Okay, this was going on. You gonna get a piece of it too. I said, all right, well, I guess. Meanwhile, this whole situation with D-Mac, girl, D-Mac gotta go. Well, at this point, I don't know. The way that they flipped and reversed this would never happen. This would never. I mean, we want to keep it real, right? Keep it real, especially out here in Chicago. Oh, niggas ain't moving that quick. Okay, but this is for the sake of the show. Tommy had to go over there to D-Mac after he done cussed out Diamond and said, you supposed to do without order. He was like, order? Order? Bitch, you don't order me about nothing. I don't take no rules from you. I don't take nothing from you, baby. We partners. And I said, oh, no, Tommy, I know you was upset. You used the wrong words talking about D-Mac and then in conjunction with Diamond or whatever and all this stuff. And Diamond, I'm like, damn. Now it's finna put another little dent in the little situation and partnership between him and Tommy, because Jannard already telling you, listen, you got this white boy coming in and just messing up the stuff between us. And so it's like, oh my God, is it about to be a little bit of friction? I just really don't see how this partnership between not Jannard, but Diamond and Tommy is gonna last. It just don't seem like it's gonna be feasible in the long run, because They got two different goals, okay? Tommy want to take over. Diamond want to take over a little bit, but not as bad as Tommy do. And truth be told, I don't even feel like Diamond Heart is 100% in it like he was back in probably before he went to jail, okay? And so it's going to be a problem. It's really is, you know? Moving on from that, so you got all of that going on, right? Ooh, hold on. You got that going on. And Tommy had to go over there to D-Mac and say, listen, bro, you ain't getting back up in CBI. And then kind of find out because Diamond had told him about the Mad Dog situation. And Tommy was like, you know, he did this because of you, because he was trying to impress you to get back in CBI. And I already told him he's not getting into CBI. Okay, cool. Why D-Mac still had the blick blick on him that he used to take care of me? I said, me and Tommy said, see, you are so dumb. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when I said he's a liability. Tommy took the gun, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So at one point, JB, we finally see JB. Okay, is it JB or JP? I can't even remember what his name was. Girl, I thought he was gone because we ain't seen him in the month of Sundays. Okay. And, you know, tried to have a little one-on-one with his son and, you know, tell him basically if you in trouble or whatever you need, you know, I'm here for you and all of that stuff. And, you know, D-Mac tried to lie and say that, you know, I didn't catch another body. I didn't catch a body at all. You know, I was just lying, all that stuff. I was like, okay. Meanwhile, speaking of the bodies that D-Mac didn't caught, Tommy found out exactly the reason why, you know, they're doing all this stuff. And Diamond was talking to D-Mac because Diamond did tell him that, you know, King Kilo, after, you know, D-Mac took out Mad Dog, that's his nephew, whatever, he want him done. And it was like, okay, cool. So now what they're going to do is they're going to set up this other guy that was part of the coalition. His name is Rashawn. Now, he wanted to meet up with them after all of this stuff that's been going on, right? He wanted to meet up with them and basically say, we out of the coalition. He the head of the SODs, okay? And so the Sons of Destructions. And they was just basically like, we done. And he was with this other dude, right? Come to find out the other dude don't want to leave, but Rashad does. And he was getting a little ahead of himself. And so basically they was going to try to set Rashad up and make it seem as if Rashad was the one that took out Mad Dog, which is King Kilo's nephew, instead of D-Mac, so that they won't have to take out D-Mac. And so they set up this meeting, had him come in, you know, next thing you know, a tongue is getting cut out. I said, now let me tell you something. I know times is hard and I know budget may be a little skewed and all that stuff. I don't know because it seems like this has been already filmed. But y'all could have did a little bit better with that tongue. Okay, that tongue was way too pink, way too rubbery, and way too plastically fake. Okay, I said, and then it was big. It was big as shit. I said, oh my God. Now, I got a big tongue too, but not like that. It was too thick. I said, y'all could have made that look a little bit more realistic. And they cut that. And I said, oh my God, he's about to bleed out from his tongue. He's about to bleed out from his tongue. Baby, they set him underneath an engine and they let that thing fall on him. And then, you know, Jannard took it up to King Kilo, showed him the picture, and he did this whole story. Let me tell you something. You are trying to convince somebody that what you're saying is the truth. You have to be way more convincing and stop being so animated, okay? I'm animated right now so that I can keep y'all entertaining and thrive. You know what I'm saying? Intrigued and everything, you know? But you are trying to play around with a big drug dealer, shot caller that does not play games, okay? And this man has yet to smile since we seen him. You know, and for somebody that's been in the street like that, he got some nice teeth. Them veneers up in his mouth. I said, oh, you got the nerves to be doing all of that, King Kilo? Where did you get them done? Did you get them done in the prison or did you get them done on 95th Street? Which one? Which one? Okay? But this man has yet to smile. And Jannard was like, yo, so this what happened, okay? It was like, I thought it was the homie D-Mac. But come to find out, it really wasn't. So I went and talked to the little dude that told me that it was D-Mac. And he said, you know what? The only reason why he lied and said it was D-Mac instead of Rashawn was because he was scared of Rashawn. But then, you know what? I went on ahead and broke that little nigga. And he said, you know what? Fuck that shit. It was Rashawn. So I went on ahead and took care of that shit. There it go. Okay? And he was like, the nigga D-Mac is sterile. And if you really don't really want to fuck with it too, right? I can also take out D-Mac and we can handle that shit too if you still want to, whatever. And I'm sitting here like, he's so obvious that he lying. He's so obvious that he's lying, right? King Kilo gotta see through this. He gotta see through this. All King Kilo said was, I need confirmation from the SODs. And he was like, no, that ain't no problem. That's too easy. That's too easy. That's what's up. And I said, what? So the problem with D-Mac is solved? And then because of that, Tommy went over there to D-Mac and basically said, you NCBI. And then, you was baptized in the street and you baptized in this stuff, whatever, just like Kanan did him and Ghost. I said, wait a minute, what? I said, why would you let him back in? Oh my gosh, Jesus. Okay. This is going to be probably one of the decisions that you probably regret. All right. Meanwhile, you got this whole thing that's going on. Okay, when we still talking about Stacey and them, they got a case going on because, baby, it's fentanyl out here on the streets just taking people out. And then what's so happening is a whole bunch of people just start going limp and just going dead, okay? And it was like, what is going on? As soon as Marquez, they was like, oh, I got to put it together because when Marquez Cartel started coming into Chicago and everything, all of a sudden this started happening. Okay, not only do we got regular people just dying, we got a couple of influencers that's dying, and then the person that's from the LGBTQ. And I said, what's that got to do with it? No shade. I was like, everybody gonna be on this. Okay, well, drugs don't care about your sexuality, so I didn't understand what was the point of that. But was it because one of the influencers was LGBTQ and they was a popular influencer? You had to be real careful because they could be like, oh, you not really trying to investigate because they gay or something like that. Now, if that's the case, okay, I could get it. But it just felt real random to say that. But okay. And so now the eyes are on the Marquez Ortega them, on Tommy and them, trying to see who is supplying the drugs. Meanwhile, you got Miguel over there. And speaking of the drugs, Tommy and Diamond went over there to see Shay, because they work for his cartel. Baby, they on the boat, Miguel, and he is beating the life out of somebody. I ain't never seen nobody do no shit like this. Now, bitch, when us African Americans and Africans were enslaved, they whooped our asses with whips, right? At least that's what I thought. I ain't never seen nobody get whipped with a goddamn chain like that. I ain't never see nobody get whipped with a goddamn chain like that. I said, listen, did they have that white man, baby? We didn't even see his face. That's how insignificant he was. But girl, I said, oh my God, that chain wrapped around here. And they was like, I said, oh no. And they gonna say something, throw his ass in the water or some shit. Baby, they threw him over that board. I said, no. What is going on? And Miguel just said that like, yeah. So Miguel think he hot shit. Mind you, Miguel, if Che knew that Miguel was responsible for the death of his brother, oh yeah, he wouldn't be there. Okay. So he got to pay his P's and Q's as well. Tommy and Diamond shows up and, Miguel really think that this is going to be it for Tommy, and Che ain't going to really give him another chance because, he's about to embark on this whole war with the cartel and all this stuff. And Che is not trying to have a cartel war. That's not what it is. And then, Tommy and Diamond brought a whole bunch of money. And then Miguel going to say you can't be buying your way back with money and all this stuff, whatever. And Che was like, you shut your mouth up. You come here, you messed up my stuff, and the least you could do was to give me this money, but you're gonna have to tighten this shit up, okay? You hear what I'm saying? Now see, at this point, Miguel is over it. Miguel is already over it. Okay? So he did already sent the message to, Ortega. Ortega is out of the hole. He is out of solitary, right? And now he is in a regular cell with a bunk bed with a bitch in there. Just go ahead and what? Okay. Girl, my watch was up here saying some stuff and it was about to send it. It was about to send it to somebody. I'm so glad I caught that. He was have to send it to a random person. But anyway, yeah, he was up in there getting head by a female guard, a woman guard. I said, oh my goodness. And Miguel made that happen. I said, girl, what? And he said, the next time I ping your phone, it's going to be because I got that slimy ass octopus, Tommy Egan, and he going to be dead. I said, that's a lie. Girl, Miguel, I really feel like, no, I already know Miguel is going to die. Okay, Miguel is not going to make it. Maria, you might as well just kiss him goodbye. Bye-bye, bro. Hermano. That's just really what it is. Meanwhile, what else is going on in this episode? Shanti, girl, this is what I'm saying. Shanti was over there looking at them playing drag racing, street racing, and all that stuff, and then we get Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh played by old girl. She's from Chicago. You know, the stud from Chicago. She was also in the Chi for a second, which I don't understand. Why was she in the Chi for like 2 seconds and then that was it? Never understood that character, and it was at the last season that happened. So maybe we'll see some more of her this current season coming up. But anyway, so basically, you remember that she was some dude's daughter that they respected, but when Jard was high as shit, he yanked her chain and all that stuff, whatever, and attacked her. And so, yeah, Shanti had went over there trying to do a little business deal with her, right? Wanted to do a business deal, wanted to make a partnership and all that stuff. She was about to do it. She was about to say, yeah. And then all of a sudden, her homeboy came up there that was like her little protector, her little right-hand man. He was like, don't I know you? You the boxer, right? She was like, yeah, Shanti the Great, Shanti the Gold, some shit like that. And he was like, yeah, and you fuck with that nigga Jard, that little crackhead ass nigga Jard, right? And it was like, I mean, that's my nigga, what's good? And old girl was like, bitch, you fuck with him? That motherfucker stole my chain, little tweak ass, crackhead ass, motherfucking da. Fuck that nigga, and it's on sight whenever I see his ass. It was like you working with that weak ass bitch. And I was like, God damn. Shanti's changed real quick right then and there. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about. You saw it. Because she didn't even have to think about it. As soon as they said that, she was like, oh my goodness, what the hell? It wasn't and that's my nigga, okay, and I'm going to stick beside him. Yeah, we doing shit together or whatever. What's good? You know? Girl, as soon as she seen Jard come up in there, she said, I'm going to have a change of plan. This shit ain't going to fucking work. Okay, did you steal old girl chain? No, I ain't steal a chain. I ain't do this. I ain't do that. I was like, shit. She said, yeah, I'm going to have to go about this another way because this ain't going to work. I said, then you going to kick your nigga to the curb that quick like that? See, this is what I'm talking about. See how quick she changed up on him? I mean, it's understandable, but at the same time, this is what I'm saying when I said she going to possibly try to take his ass out. Once she get to where she want to go, she ain't going to need Jard no more. She going to see that he is not. He's a liability to her. He's a weakling to her. But, you know, he wound up going out, finding a dude that he used to do drugs with in that car, and getting the chain from him. How did he get the chain from him? Because he gave him the old girl's chain, and he wouldn't give it back to him. He wouldn't even sell it back to him, you know, for some money. And so what he did was give him some drugs that he was trying to shoot up, and kind of find out it's the stash from that. Remember that D-Mac took them drugs from them Chinese people? When they was doing the gambling? Yes. So that boy that had the drugs on the table, he wound up taking it. That's what's been going around, taking people out. Now, unless them Asians got that from the Marquez cartel, that's what's been going around. And dude took some of it. And I mean, he only took a little. And he was like, oh shit. Listen, mind you, he put it in his arm. First of all, I cannot do stuff like that. That is just so scary to me. Like, listen, needles is one thing to give me a shot or whatever so that I can take my medication, or, you know, when I'm at the doctor, you know what I'm saying, get my blood drawn. That's the extent. That's the extent. But then you sitting there, and as soon as that needle hit, and he said, damn, it wasn't even in there for 2 seconds. He said, I feel this shit out, and was gone. I said, bitch, it hit the bloodstream for 2 seconds, and it took him out. Jard sitting there looking like, I said, no, you're not finna taste that. You see it just took him out. I mean, it ain't make him go to sleep, baby. It made him go to the eternal sleep. Okay, now you want that to happen? But he just went on ahead and he took the chain. And the whole time I'm thinking like, I be thinking, because maybe because I watch too much TV or whatever, the way that they take the drug packet and he threw it back at him, and I'm like, oh my God, your fingerprints are on the drug package. You should have took that with you. But hey, that's just how I think about things, because I don't want to have any reason to get caught up. So I would just take everything and dust everything down. Prints everywhere, butt cheek prints everywhere. It's just everywhere, But yeah, so he went and told Shanti, look what I got. No, he went and gave the girl her chain back. Tried to make nice with her and all that shit. They cool. He told her go ahead and work with Shanti. So he fixed that situation. Now Shanti and him happy. Then he said, I'm finna get you in that meeting with Che. Because Diamond did say, we finna meet with Che or whatever soon. But, I'll work that shit out. Okay, cool. I just don't see it happening. Jannard is too weak, and Jannard will mess up everything. But there's that. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, I don't see Shanti and Jannard lasting too much longer. Okay? Yeah, that's just really what it is. Also, we got this whole situation with Claudia. Girl, Claudia tried to take out Tommy. You want to know how she tried to take out Tommy? She tried to take out Tommy by having, getting her girlfriend to record Tommy basically admitting to a murder or attempted murder or some shit like that, and having him doing drugs or talking about the exchange of drugs and all that stuff on tape. Okay, now she is in the pen on the phone talking to the girl and trying to tell her what she got to do, and she was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I said, see, this is what I'm talking about, Claudia. Drop this weak bitch, okay? I'm sorry, listen, love is blind, okay? And it will take over your man. What you think is love is truly not. You need to elevate and find. And Claudia, you gotta get a real bitch, okay? Fuck that love shit at this point. This girl is gonna be your downfall. Because why would you send that little pup in there to do a big dog job? I said, oh my goodness. She up there talking to Tommy. They doing the exchange and stuff. Bitch, she is scared talking to Tommy. And Tommy sniffed that shit right out. I said, oh my God. And then he realized, because you asking questions that was way too obvious. And he realized that she was recording him and put the phone up in the water. Bitch, you better be glad that Tommy did take your ass out right then and there, okay? Now Claudia got to go ahead and do what she didn't want to do, which was work with the FBI. And so basically she said, I'll get Tommy, use me as bait. Take me out of here, put me back on the streets, use me as bait, and I'll get Tommy. And it was like, I get him for attempted murder, okay? Because he want me bad. Okay, I may not get him for an actual murder, but I'll get him for attempted murder. So that's how you'll get him. And it was like, what makes you so sure that he gonna want you or whatever? And he was like, because I took something from him that he could never get back. Remember when she killed Juliana? Yeah, that's why he been on her shit list forever, or vice versa. She been on his shit list forever. Okay, he's gonna make sure she's get out of here, right? And sure enough, at the very end of the episode, when she gets out, Tommy is out there with a guy. You are downtown, standing by a pillar with a fucking black hoodie on, and you're so pasty white, and you're peeking on the corner. You look so suspicious. Okay, now if they was black, they would be like, oh my God, what are you doing? But he's white, but you look so suspicious. But of course they didn't see it, but he saw Claudia get out. But at the same time, Stacy said, you got to give me Ortega too. We didn't see what was going on then. But Stacy was up in there. And Stacy, Sang had came in there. And she had told him, yes, Claudia's getting out. She's about to get out right now. Because she's going to testify against Ortega. Sang is freaking out trying to get Ortega on the phone. And saying Claudia is testifying. Claudia is, baby Claudia, I really feel like at this point in time, Tommy is the least of your worries. Tommy is the least of your worries at this point, girl. You got everybody in they mama on your ass, all right? And I'm pretty sure Miss Girlie, that's her girlfriend, she's gonna get got. Okay, she's gonna get got for real. Ortega probably gonna take her ass out, But yeah, that was going on. And then you got Vic up there playing with that little girl, Ray. Okay, got her all up in the penthouse. Mind you, he kicked Claudia's little girlfriend out the penthouse and said, "You could get the fuck out because this is my crib." And okay, cool, that's what he did. She went on ahead. She got out after he damn near, threatened to take her ass out for real, and had the little Ray girl up in there, and they talking about stuff. And at one point, you know, um, trying to say, "Oh, I know you probably came from this and probably came from that," and because she was just so mesmerized and amazed at the view from the penthouse and all this stuff, and he automatically assumed that she grew up in such great positions and seen stuff like this even better, and she was like, "Absolutely the fuck not! You don't know who I am, okay? My mama was a maid. She cleaned up places like this. I grew up in a goddamn trailer. I had to take 2 buses and a train just to get to school every day. Bitch, let me tell you something. If it had to do all that, I ain't finna do that." I had told my mama, girl, please. Listen, when I was in high school, probably like the last 2 years of high school, I literally had to wake up probably like around 5 something in the morning, 5:30, to leave out around 6:30 so that I can get to school and get into the computer lab so I can type up stuff, whatever, around, because I think the computer lab opened up around 7:30, and then class started at 8:30. Bitch, what? That was Monday through Friday, every goddamn day. I was exhausted. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. You know, the fuck was on? But anyway, yeah, I was just like, yeah, girl. I don't know, and let me not find out that Vic finna fall for this girl. Yeah, but what else is going on in this episode? Let me fast forward some stuff, cause I don't know. We got Ken Kilo, we got D Mac, we got Shanti. She gonna take Jard out. Saying he gonna wind up getting killed too. I just feel like cause this is a mess. This is a mess situation. What else is going on? Jannard, he gonna get himself fucked up. What if Jannard all of a sudden just want to overdose? Would that be the thing? I'd be like, bitch, what? Now we thought you was done with this. Yeah, yeah. What else is going on? Tommy, yeah, got Claudia. Claudia, I need you, Claudia. Girl, I feel like that's everything. Like I said, yeah, JP and her. Yeah, that's everything. That's everything. Mm-hmm. Stacy thinks she finna be governor. Girl, absolutely fuck not. Anyway, that's everything. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. Y'all, I had to get up early today. Okay, mind you, I gotta get up early for the next 3 days. I'm so over it. We ain't had nobody come. Okay, we were short staffed today. First of all, I really feel like if it's a major holiday like New Year's, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, those should be the holidays that we get the actual day off, and we should get the day after off. I really do feel that way, okay? Because people still be recovering from that. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, somebody had called off today at work, so we were short staffed. We had to wait for another person to show up, and then we all in there tired and everything, and then we got to come back tomorrow and come back on Sunday. Girl, I'm just over it sometimes. But anyway, you guys enjoy your weekend. Y'all be safe, be warm, and especially if you out here in Chicago and Midwest, they say we finna get a winter storm later on, early this morning. So be wary. It's supposed to be doing it all this weekend. Y'all be safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.